So let's go ahead and get started. So here's the coin I'm going to be working with today. It's a Holy Grail Silver Round. And first thing I'm going to do is anneal it to soften it up, make it a little bit easier to work with. That's usually the first thing we try to do. Okay, showing the wrong thing there. I was showing my magnet. All right, so let's fire up the torch and get this thing warmed up. Like I said, this will make the metal a lot softer, more pliable, easier to forge. All right, that should do it. Now I'm going to dunk it in some room temperature water. All right, and like magic, it's going to be softer. Get it dried off. Oh, by the way, I'm Mark from Southwind Coin Rings. I'm here today to provide some entertainment for y'all. All right, so next thing we're going to do is punch a hole in this coin. And I'm going to do that using this auto centering punch. I'm going to be doing a 5/8 inch hole, so I'll put the 5/8 inch die in there, and then I'm gonna put a piece of paper towel over the die, and that will help to protect the detail on the coin, because we don't want any metal on metal contact if we can help it. So put one below, and I'll put one on top. And then screw the lid down real good. Alright, so I'm going to take my 5/8 inch punch here, put a little dry lube on it. Now I'm going to whack it with a hammer, so I'm going to make a little bit of noise here for a few seconds. So here we go. Alright, that should have punched a hole right in the dead center of the coin. Here's the piece that we punched out of it. And I can use this later on to make something, maybe a little pendant or cuff link or hat pin or something like that. So the coin is now stuck on the punch, so I got to knock it off there. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask. I'm here at your service. If you like the live, please tap the screen. Maybe even give me a follow. I'd appreciate it. All right, so when that punch goes through the coin, on the back side, it makes kind of a rough edge, and I need to get that cleaned off there, because if I don't, then I'm running a huge risk of having a little split occur when I start to stretch it. So I'm going to use a deburring tool to do that. I'm just going to shave that edge down real good on both sides. If there's any little cracks or anything in there, we're going to just shave them away. Get down below them into solid metal. All right. Don't want to lose any of these silver shavings. I can use those someday. Okay, so right now what we've got is just a coin shape. Not going to be very good to try to wear that on the finger, so I need to do something with it. So I'm going to do a process called folding. And what that's going to do is start turning it into a ring shape that we can actually wear. So I'm going to use this dapping block to do this procedure, to start the procedure. And this is the side that I want to show on the outside of my ring. It shows a knight, a shield with a lion on it. It's a pretty cool detail. So I want to show that on the outside of the ring. So that's going to go down in this dapping block. And then as I start bending it, that will be on the outside. So I want to make sure that this is centered up real good. And now I'm going to press down on it, and the start of our ring shape occurs. All right, so as you can see, we're starting to see a ring shape, but there's still quite a ways to go. We want to try to get like a 45-degree angle, or not 45, a 90-degree angle here across this. To do that, I need to bring this cut edge up. All right, so I'm going to use what's called a reduction die to continue the folding process. Any questions, anybody? So I have two tools that I'm going to use to finish up this folding. First one is a stainless steel 17-degree cone. And I'm going to go down about halfway with this. And the reason I'm not going to go all the way is because I don't want that stainless steel to come in contact with fine detail on the inside of my ring, because I want to preserve that as much as possible. So I'm just going to start the process here with this. Go down, like I said, about halfway. Make sure it's level. Okay, and before everything comes in contact, I'm going to stop. I'm going to replace that with this composite material, which is softer than the metal. You won't damage the detail. So I'll just go ahead and finish folding with this. Okay, so now we're getting there, but we still have a cone shape here. This edge still needs to be lifted up. So to do that, I'm going to use a ring stretcher. Oh, I forgot to mention, I want this to be a size 11. So to get size 11, I need to actually stretch it out to about 13. So we're at a little over 12 now. So, yeah. So I need to stretch it out a little bit more. So I'm going to wrap this with some paper towel because I don't want metal on metal contact. And then I'm going to put the coin on there with the cut side down. And now I'm going to start stretching that side out, making it lift. One more push and then I'll check the size and see what it's at. Okay, so we went up to 14, that's okay. Because we need to start reducing this side, and we still need to shape it, need to flatten it. So go back to the arbor press to do that again. But this time I'm going to use a different kind of a die. It's called Swedish wrap. This had a much steeper angle than the die I was working with before. And I'm going to wrap this up in this Blue Monster PFTE tape. PTFE tape, I mean. So I'm just going to give it around 10, 12 wraps. And this is going to protect the coin as it is forced down through that die. If I don't protect it, then the detail is going to get all mashed up, flattened, basically ruin it. I've never done that before. Okay, I think that should be enough to start with. I'm going to have to add some more in a minute. All right. Any questions? Okay, so I want to start reducing this reed side, so that's going to go down in the die, face down. If I can get it in there. There it goes. Let me get it centered up a little bit, and then I'll get the actual push rod on there. Take this off for a second. Okay, there we go. All right. So this is the pusher I'm going to use, and this is called a Ross pusher. The guy designed its name was Ross. Okay, get that centered up in there real nice. And start pushing it down little by little. I'll take it out and turn it over now. And as you can see, you cut that tape. So I'm going to turn it over, and then pushing it down this way, that tape's going to be pushed back up where I need it to be. Then I'll have to add some more a little bit later. Yeah, I'll probably have to re-anneal it here in a minute, because as you work the metal, it starts to get hard. Which actually we want at the end of the process. We want it to work harden so it will wear better. All right, so the tape starts to turn this dark blue when it gets hard, but you see, I think you can probably see the Holy Grail. The letters are starting to kind of show through that tape, which is not good. So before there's any damage, I need to put a couple more wraps on it. So I'll put about 3 wraps just to help protect it. I'll push it down in a little bit more, and then I need to start paying attention to the size, because I want to get it down to about 11 and a half, because the inside, there's a rim on the inside. I don't know if we can see it right now, but there's a rim right in here. It's actually the other side of that reed, and that will be cut away, so that will give me about an extra half size. So let's go ahead and push it on down. A little bit, not too much. And now, I'll go ahead and check the size, see where we are. Okay, we haven't really reduced a whole lot yet. What we are doing though is straightening the wall up. So, I think I'm going to go ahead and pull this tape off. We can take a quick look, and I'm going to re-anneal it. So it's still got a little bit of a cone shape going here. So let's anneal this guy, and then we'll continue. We've got 124 people in here. Welcome, everybody. If you're just hopping in, I'm making a size 11 ring out of this Holy Grail Silver Round. If you're enjoying the live, please go ahead and tap that screen for me. Okay, there we go. Oops, I went too far. It's kind of hard to see. I've got the text enlarged, and it's difficult to see what's going on the phone. All right, so I need to wrap this again in a blue monster. Easier to wrap when it's flat like this. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. right, again, the goal here is to get this down to around 11 and a half. And it'll start happening pretty fast now. So I got to be careful that I don't go too far. And now we got nice and soft again. Let's check. Holy Grail starting to show through there a little bit again, so I got to really watch that. Now let me check the size. Let's see, is that the reed side's over here? Sometimes I get confused. Okay, so now we're at 12. So I'm almost there. I gotta be real careful now. Because we went to 14 to 12 on just that one push. I'm going to put it down this side first. And just give it a little bit. And check it again. Bad thing about trying to do with this tape on there is that it's kind of hard to see where you're at. So 11 3/4, one more tiny push. And I'm going to go from the reed side this time. So it looks like the cut side is, we've almost got a nice flat wall there now. But I think this side's still just a tad bigger. So I'll put that side down and just give it a nice little, very slight push. All right. That probably got us there or very close. Actually, I'm getting myself backwards here. I wanted it to be 11, so I need to go down to 10 and a half. Sorry. I'll go ahead and check it. If I go 11 and a half and then I cut that inside out, I'm going to be up to 12. So we're at 11 and a half now, so I need to go down one more size to 10 and a half. Almost screwed myself that time. Alright, so try to take it down to half size this way and then turn it over. Alright, let's check that. Hopefully I didn't overshoot it. Okay, so that's about right. It's about 10. Well, no, actually, I need to go just a little bit more, ever so slight. Okay, I hope that wasn't too much. I can always stretch it a little bit if I need to, but I'd rather not. All right, let's see where we are. Okay, we're at 10 1/4, so yeah, I went just a hair too far, but we'll see how much we can cut out of there. We'll get close, and then I may have to put it on the stretcher and just give it a slight stretch. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that now. So how's the weather for everybody? It's getting pretty chilly here in Kansas today. Had a cold front blow in last night. Okay. All right, so let me show you what I'm talking about here first. There's a ridge right here. See, on the outside of the ring, the ridge is here. We got exactly the same thing on the inside. So I need to cut that out of there so the ring will be more comfortable to wear. So I'm going to carefully start removing that excess. Give it a little turn. And we're up to 257 likes now. Keep on tapping, keep on tapping. If anybody'd like to have one of these rings, you can check my website at southwindcoinrings.com. The link is in my profile. I would have this in my TikTok shop, but they they won't let me put any silver items in there. But apparently, hopefully they're going to change that policy soon. Right now it's invite only for selling silver items. And I guess I didn't get invited to the party, so. I did get a couple silver items in there, but when I went for the third one, they didn't let me do it. I've got some of my copper clad state rings in there. If anybody wants a state quarter ring, I got all 50 states available. Also have them in 90% silver, but like I mentioned, I can't sell those on TikTok. Which is a shame because everything's like 40-50% off right now. I think today I might try sneaking another one in. See what happens. Okay, check this and see what we got. Okay, now I've gone a little over 11. So I'll stop cutting. Now I'm going to have to reduce that, but that's okay because the reed side is just a little bit bigger now. So let me wrap it up a little bit and give it a little bit of a ride down through that die. I'm not going to put too much on it this time. Anybody have any questions? I'm feeling kind of lonely here. I like questions. Always wondered what that tool was for. You're talking about the deburring tool? Actually, plumbers use that to deburr the inside of copper pipes when they're brazing them together. All right. Very slight, very slight. A little bit more. What's the tape do? It protects the detail on the ring. It's just a buffer between the ring and the metal on the inside of the die. If you don't use it, then the detail gets smashed, flattened out. All right, there we go. Just a slight hair under 11, but that's okay. It's close enough. As I'm polishing it up, that will be removed. So now I can start making it pretty. Looks like we got a pretty nice straight wall. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, so first part of the polishing process is to hit it with some real fine steel wool. I would have liked to see that from the very beginning. Well, I will be posting the video on eBay, not eBay, on YouTube. And it'll be there in a couple of days. You can see the whole process. Yes, no, it's 40 steel wool. What is that, a press? It's an arbor press is what I was using a minute ago. It's a 2-ton arbor press. Most of the guys you see making coin rings have 1-ton that they got from Harbor Freight, but when I went to buy one, they were all out of them. it's one of those discontinued items, so I had to go find me a 2-ton. How do you make the hole? This guy right here. This is a self-centering punch. You take I have different sizes of dies that I put in here, and then screw that lid back down on there, and it centers the coin. And then I just take a brass hammer and beat it through. The brass is much softer than the steel, so it's okay to use the brass hammer. Shouldn't use like a steel hammer. That's not good because it could chip the punch and be a safety issue. Then this steel wool, it starts to disintegrate after a while, so I keep a magnet handy to pick it all up. That ring is 1 coin, yeah. Let me show you what I started with. This is the coin I'm working with right here. I just got these in the mail today, actually. It's a 1 ounce fine silver. They're called silver rounds. They're not actually coins, but they are and they're not. Technically, it's not a coin. Who sells the hole punch? You can get them from a number of different sellers on Etsy, usually is where you find them the most. I got mine from Jason's Works. Jason's one of the pioneers in the coin ring field. He's not too active anymore, but he still sells the tools. Yeah, you know, I do have a machine, but I can't put everything in one spot. It's kind of difficult to move the camera around, so I just do it this way. It's not that much work. Sometimes I might do it, but and the fine silver is easy to polish too. So let's see. Let me get my polish. I use Mother's mag and aluminum polish. It gets. Oh really? Yeah, it doesn't. Steel wool doesn't bother me. It's very, very fine. It's 0.000 gauge. Amazon will probably have them, yeah. You want to make sure you get the self-centering kind if you're going to get one. They probably still have the older types available that you had to use little rings around the coin to center it up. Hang on just a second, my sister poked her head in here. You need something?
Oh, I'm getting ready to go to the store.
Oh, okay.
Is there anything special you want for supper?
No, not really.
Okay.
Just the usual stuff.
Okay.
I've never seen. Yeah, I get it at Ace Hardware. I started with the double lot, but it's, this is quite a bit finer than the double lot. Still time to hit the like button, guys. Or not the like button, tap the screen. Keep getting mixed up with YouTube. Alright, now I'll take a clean microfiber and remove that haze, and it should be all nice and shiny. You must have heard me talking to my sister, huh? That's actually a hamburger steak mashed. That sounds pretty damn good, actually. I think I'd rather have okra though than spinach and carrots. Okay, that's looking pretty good. One last thing here. I've got these little cloths. Get my hands wiped off though. Oh yeah, fried okra. Love it. So we're just about done here. Actually, I've only been at coin ring making for I started in June, but I've been doing silversmithing for quite some time. Off and on. I was just getting ready to get back into it again because my stuff's been in storage for about the last 10 years. And I just moved, so moved back to my hometown. I was gonna start doing silversmithing again. And I started looking at videos on YouTube, and I saw guys making coin rings, and I thought, hey, that looks pretty cool. One thing led to another, and here we are. All right, I think that's it. This one's got a lot of detail, so it doesn't really take a real mirror finish, but still pretty shiny. Now I may put a patina on this to make the details stand out a little bit, but I won't do that on the video. It takes some time. Have to get some hot water and mix it up and let it sit there for a while, but I'll post some pictures when it's all done. All right, anybody have any other questions or comments? Or still have time for some likes? Follows would be great too. All right, guys, I think if there's no other questions, then I'm going to call it a day. This ring will be on sale on my website. I'll try to put it on TikTok Shop and see what happens, but they'll probably deny. Well, let me show you the last one I did, just for grins. This is my last ring I just made a few days ago with a red powder coat. Well, it depends how much, how do I clean my towels? Well, I haven't tried yet. I think I was thinking about just throwing them in the washing machine. I don't know. I won't put them in there if they close if I do that. But the price. So a ring like this would probably be around $189. Takes a lot more work to put that powder coat on there. Because you put the powder coat on, then you have to lightly sand and the high spots until they come through. But it really makes a neat effect. This one, probably about $159. It's 1 ounce silver round. My state rings are $19.99. The copper clad and the 90% silver state rings are $59. Well, like I said, I've got all my stuff on my website, some stuff on TikTok Shop, some stuff on Etsy, so you can find it if you're actually, interested. All right. Thank you, everybody. I definitely appreciate you sticking in and hanging in there. Still got 102, starting to go down now. So have a great day, everybody, and I'll be back again probably tomorrow or the next day with another one. So see ya.